going down like a bunch of crazy dogs.
My camera. How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Woo! What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Giants Rush, where we talk Giants football pretty much 50 weeks of the year. And thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us. I do see you guys rolling in the room. So what's up, people? Giants, well, let's put it this way. They suck, and they lost again to the 49ers 34-24, which was a very lackluster, no inspiring football, no above the X's and O's at all in this game. And there is a lot of conversation about coaches, GMs, coordinators, players giving up, quitting. A lot of conversations we're going to have here. I've got Spartan Mike actually back. Which is going to be awesome. I got Sean. We got Cruz producing in the back. And, of course, you guys know that we got Ryan Dunleavy. Let's talk out here, guys. Let's talk Dart. Dart goes 24 for 33 for 191, 2 touchdowns. He also threw in 56 yards on 8 carries and a touchdown. By the way, if you haven't figured it out yet, the New York Giants do have a franchise quarterback. Best game of the year, talking about throwing for 2 touchdowns, running for a touchdown. This guy's the real deal. You heard it here first. Been on this guy's bandwagon for quite some time, and really excited about what he brings to the table. Just turns out that we're so thin, he's the only thing we have right now. And he's got no help. He's got no help. This team has no skill players. What do I mean by skill players? There's no wide receivers. There's no running backs. There's no cornerbacks. There's no safeties. They're as thin as could be. However, still doesn't mean this team shouldn't have some passion and some pride. And I'm not sure they're playing like that right now. So, Christian, if you can hear me in the back, my right-hand man producer, let's bring in Sean, because we want to get him in here for some opinions.
And here we go.
What's up, dude?
So the face on that intro is exactly how I'm feeling right now, but I'm going to try to stay calm tonight because I want to have some rational, decisions or answers or conversations. I'm mad. I'm really mad. That's why I'm wearing all black. It's a funeral. Seeing this game, I'm out on a lot of things. And Craig, it takes a long time for me to be out, but watching this performance, and I don't care who was out there, who was missing, there are things that a fan for over 45 years, there's things I just won't tolerate. And so, yeah, it's going to be a very intellectual conversation tonight, even though I'm emotional with my Giants right now.
Yep. And I had to watch the game back today because, you guys know, I was out in Maryland, so I had to rewatch the game today. There is one good thing that came out of this.
Yeah, what's that?
It's good to be the king.
That's the only thing. It's still good to be the king. Yeah. All right, so let's get into this, and I'm going to pop these guys in here. Just if we're rambling through stats, Slayton goes 5 catches for 62 yards, and an enormous drop in the end zone, which we'll get into. Singletary 8 rushes, 43 yards. I will give him credit for 5.4 yards a carry. Tracy comes up. Bumpkus basically 5 rushes for 18 yards. We'll get into that. Let's bring in who we have not seen in forever, but he's hanging out with us tonight. Let's bring in Spartan Mike. What do we got for Spartan? Man, that was good too. What's up?
Guys, what's going on?
See, I will tell you, Cruz, I mean, Cruz's stuff is good, but it never replaces this for me because this is how I feel right now.
This is Sparta!
Old school,
Because I
guys.
want to do that. I want to kick someone in the hole right now. And the man of the hour, of course, the guy that you're all here to hang out with, is the guy with all the answers, is Ryan Dunleavy. Boom, there he is. What's up, Brian?
What's up, Ryan?
What's up? What's up, Mike? What's up?
Ryan, good to see you, man. I haven't. I literally left the week, but temporarily for like the week before you started coming on the show. So I'm glad to be here with you.
Good to see you. Yeah.
All right. So we all know we always start the show off with studs and duds. We're gonna rip into that in a second. Ryan, I just want to let you know something about today feels different. Because you know why? Because you've got answers today. That's how I feel today. I feel like something today is like, we were breaking, if the Giants were going to win, there was a chance to, you told us there's a chance of maybe getting a receiver. And then you gave us some scatterboo information last week from those orthopods and those doctors. Today, I feel you're going to triple down with something good here.
I don't know that. I don't know that I have any answers, but I got a lot of questions. But go, let's go for it.
All right, let's start off the show like we always do. Let's hit it. Studs and duds. All right, we always do it. Studs and duds start the show off. A stud, pretty self-explanatory. Dud could probably be more than one person today. So, Sean, gonna start off with you. You're the veteran with me in this studs and duds space, and because we got Spartan, I probably won't even play. I'm gonna defer to Spartan unless he comes up with a dud himself. So, but give me something, Sean, here that I can say the stud of the game was blank.
Yeah, so for me, and I don't think I've picked him as of yet, but I'm going with Dart. Again, the energy, the drive, he never quits, never gives up. And I know there's some Giants fans that don't like that he's running the ball in the second half or late in the game, which I understand. But here's the thing that goes like that. When the team sees that and guys see that, that's just going to increase his leadership capabilities right there. So yes, it is tough to watch, but it's more than just trying to protect him. Guys are going to respond to that. We're not seeing the results yet, but I love it. I love the fire. That's eventually going to change. Other guys are going to feed off that. So, I mean, with what he did in the game, and again, if you mentioned drops earlier and stuff, that game could have been even more impressive for him. So yeah, my stud is Dart.
Yeah, it's hard to deny the fact that he's as advertised. You know what I mean? And I'll even say this, and I told you right up front a year and a half ago when we started talking about it, I was like, you know what? They're wrong about Sean. They're wrong about him not being able to progress and read progressions. Yep. Remember all the stuff people kept saying? I'm like, it's not accurate. Yep. He can read. We saw multi times him looking off, changing his footwork, coming to the other side of the field. Theo Johnson's touchdown, by example, was not the main hot read. So he is coming through with everything you'd want. Handles the media great. At least I think so. We'll defer to Ryan. But we like what we see. Spartan, I need a stud out of you here. And again, you can double down on the Dart, but I think you have someone else in mind.
I'm going to go with Burns. I mean, he's the only one giving the effort at this point on defense that I feel like is just so deservingly of it. I mean, he got the sack. He's getting the backfield, deflecting the ball. I mean, it's been he's been a bright spot on the season, really a bright spot in the league.
11 sacks, by the way. And he had he joined, and I don't have the total stat. I'm going to look it up in a second. Or you know what, Cruz, can you look up this for me? He was on a short list of how many people have had 10 plus sacks like 4 years in a row, which Burns has done. and we're only halfway through the season, Burns could wind up with 17 sacks, for the year, not 18 sacks, which would be tremendous. So Spartan, good pick, easy pick, but 2 easy picks, Dart and Burns. Ryan, you're a lot closer to it than we are. Is there another stud out there that we could call out?
Double down, Ryan. Double down.
I mean, those are the 2 guys who are the studs of the game. They're right now, honestly, they're the Giants' best 2 players, which is crazy considering Andrew Thomas and Dexter Lawrence have been the 2 best players for years. Brianburns and Jaxsondart are the Giants' 2 best players right now. So you could double down on either of those. I'll just throw out some other names that impressed me. Neither one is on the level of Dart or
Burns.
Those were the 2 studs. Wandale had 9 catches for 46 yards. He was back to the 5-yard stuff, but at least he gets some separation and allows Dart to get rid of the ball instead of hold the ball for too long and get clobbered in the backfield. So at least Wandale gives him an out. They have a pretty nice connection going. I think that's interesting. I wrote about it last week. Wandale's a free agent. I'm not sure that the Giants are going to pay him, but I'm also not sure I'd let the guy who's built the good chemistry with the rookie go. That is very interesting. It's a subplot to tomorrow's trading deadline and whether the Giants make a move that would bump Wandale out. And how about Gunnar Olszewski? I know it was garbage time. I know it was garbage time, but I've been calling for him for a while. Like, he was pretty good in the preseason, and I try not to get wrapped up in the preseason, but he was pretty good as a receiver in the preseason, and I've never really understood why he didn't get a chance at receiver here. Like, he's obviously good with the ball in his hands from special teams, and they kept trying, Ray McLeod or Little Jordan Humphrey or Bo Collins, and I've never really understood. Maybe Gunner's not the right size. Maybe he's not a great route runner, whatever, but he's pretty good when he gets the ball in his hands. And sure enough, what does he have? 2 offensive snaps and he scores a touchdown. So I'm not sure that I would keep trotting out every single guy I find off the street before I give Gunnar Olszewski more off. I'm not saying make him a starter, but you could probably find 10 snaps a game for Gunnar Olszewski in the worst receiving core in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a good point, Ryan. What I like about Gunnar is he knows how to get open. So I think his route running is pretty good, but he knows how to find the holes in the zone. He knows how to work back to the quarterback when the quarterback's scrambling. Like, that's what this offense needs. So I don't get it. Just like you, I've been saying it for a while. I don't get why he's not getting more reps. It's just frustrating. That's another frustrating part of decision making with this regime. So
no, I mean,
like
that's what it is. He's not going to make a difference, but at least he's Little Jordan Humphrey played 73 snaps against the Broncos and didn't have a catch. I have a good feeling that if Gunnar Olszewski ever played 73 snaps, he'd get his hands on the ball.
And what's very unique about it is he had that preseason and camp, connection with Dart as Dart was working his way up the depth chart. Like, and to your point, Sean, is he has, again, I'm not comparing a tight end to a wide receiver, but I always used to marvel at what made Kelsey always so special is I think he runs his own routes. He just finds holes in the defense and sits there and Mahomes knows he's going to be sitting somewhere. It's not a specific dig route. It's not a rub route. It's not a post. He's literally finding a soft spot, and I think Gunnar does the same thing.
And then I really, I'll give your podcast credit here, guys. When Theo Johnson scored his touchdown and like stiff armed that guy, and like it wasn't supposed to be a touchdown. I was like, oh, that's a stud of the game. Like, I'm going to make him my stud of the game. That was like my thought when it happened. And then he had his weekly drop, and he's just such a confounding player because like he giveth and he taketh away, right? He has 5 touchdowns, which is the most the Giants tight end has had since Evan Ingram's rookie year in 2017. I mean, that's for a team that doesn't score a lot of touchdowns. He has 5 touchdowns, but the drops, I mean, it's one a game, and it always seems like it's on third down. So whatever he does, he kind of cancels out. So I can't make him a stud, but he's not a dud either because he does something on a team that a lot of guys don't do anything.
Yeah. All good points. So, then that's a great segue. I'm going to go right to you, Spartan. So, like, there's a lot of guys, Mike, that are duds for different reasons. Like Ryan just alluded to, like Theo's not a dud, but like, man, you're dropping a ball every week. You're like, you want to call him a dud, but he always comes up with a big play. Or Ryan just alluded to, like, the dude scores a touchdown every other week. And how do you call him a dud? So, sometimes I find that anybody can be a dud when you're only won 2 games. But my question to you is, what sticks out for you when you watched this game? Who is the guy that just is like, man, this guy can't get it done?
I mean, the through and through dud has got to be Banks. I mean, it's not only he's not getting it done, but I just feel like the problem is he's not even trying. And it's funny, guys. I mean, this is a little off topic, but I looked at the roster of the 2015 Giants that went 6-10. Every game was a crazy hyperbole, bad ending. But I'm going down the list of the starting lineup. This team, I believe, is more talented than that one. And I guess what's disappointing is, when you see these players give up, not only just in the games, but also just on their own self-development. It's like Banks threw in the towel on himself. And I don't know. There could be a few things going on there, but it's just frustrating to see.
Do you think he gave up on that tackle? Like, we've seen him give up on tackles last year. We know what it looks like for him to give up because we have video evidence of it. Do you think he gave up on the play Brian Robinson ran him over? I don't think so. I think that was just an example of him not being a good enough tackler. Like, he's just, he's just not a very good player. So, like, I don't think that was an effort question for him. There were other guys on that play who didn't give a great effort.
On that play, he's not good. He's not good. But I also don't. I do also think there is like an unwillingness to get down. And
I think he made a business decision there. He wanted no part of Brian Robinson.
Well, I'm gonna double down on all 3 of your points. I think he's so used to going 50% that's his 100% now. So he comes up to make a tackle at his speed, which again is 50%, and he got trucked because he thought he was giving enough to get in his way and that the running back would just fall down. He doesn't realize that the rest of the guys around him are playing harder and faster and know that it takes more than what he's giving. I honestly think that Banks thinks that his 50% is equal to everybody else's 100%. And as Cole says, I'm going to put Cole's comment on the screen because there's no other way around it. Just get him off the team. He's dragging it down, and he's at the point where he's it's a cancer, dude.
And he left. He left. He wouldn't talk to reporters. He left. He caught like that.
I was gonna say he was pretty shifty. He was pretty shifty getting out of the locker room. I gotta say,
right?
He gave a great effort sliding down the locker room.
Yeah, I wish he gave the same effort on the field that he get getting out of the locker room. That's for sure. Jeez.
All right, Sean, give me your dud.
Yeah, well, I don't have just one. So minus Brian Burns, my dud goes to the entire defense because what a piss poor effort. Running against Mac Jones was perfect in the first half. Like, there's just nothing. And there's guys that you could see, and I know we're going to talk about this later, but it's not quitting, but they don't have pride. There's no pride on this team. And I don't know if it's because they don't believe in their coordinator, but as somebody who played, who coached, you can tell when a team doesn't have pride, and they don't have it. Again, I'm not saying they quit because quitting is completely different, but they don't have pride. They let that team run all over them, and they let guys get wide open. So it's a number of things. There's no pride. They're not in good communication with each other. They don't understand what somebody else is going to do. And again, I don't care the injuries. That was just effort. Has nothing to do with ability. Zero to do with ability. And I did not see the effort, including some big name guys who was under fire this week and didn't like comments by a Giant legend. And let me tell you, that Giant legend took a lot of shit this week, but he was not wrong at all. And I will double down on that. He was not wrong.
Which would be a great segue to Mr. Dunleavy. Who you got for your dud, Ryan?
So I was thinking about Dexter Lawrence, which is who Sean was just alluding to. Let me say a couple things. One, I think Carl Banks was half wrong. So I'm going to object to that. I think he was half wrong. I think he made a good point. I think he did something no one else in the organization is willing to do, which good for him because no one else in this organization calls anybody out. I think he's right about Dexter's production not being there. I don't think it was the right choice of words that no one respects you, because I look at all the analytics.
Right.
He is still the most double team player in the NFL.
Right.
Double teams are obviously a sign of respect. So I don't think that was a good choice of words. I think Carl
Agreed.
Carl probably wants a do-over there. But I do think the greater point was there, which is like, you can't just blame everything on double teams, because one, you were double teamed a ton last year and you were great. And Dre Patterson said, well, if that just shows you exactly how spectacular he was last year, that he was getting double teams and he was great. Well, Dexter Lawrence has talked to me before about wanting to go to the Hall of Fame, about wanting to be in the Giants Ring of Honor, about wanting to be in the Giants Ring of Honor. So, like, if you want to do those things, I applaud you for having those kind of goals and making them realistic. But, like, do you think Aaron Donald didn't get double teamed? He was still winning Defensive Players of the Year. Do you think Chris Jones doesn't get double teamed? Chris Jones is still a Hall of Fame player. Like, do you think Reggie White didn't get double teamed? Do you think Michael Strahan didn't get the best? It's not like they made their whole careers and no one ever was like, you know what we should do? They didn't invent the double team for Dexter Lawrence. It's like no one ever thought to put two guys on Michael Strahan. Of course they did. So, like, I get it that you are getting double teamed, but you're not beating the double teams the way you used to beat them. I have no doubt if you put him one-on-one, he's going to kick the guy's butt, but he's not going to get one-on-one, so he's got to win. He's got to beat two guys like he used to beat two guys, because that's what we've come to. That's how high you've set the bar. So I'm going to give half a dud to him. Go ahead, interject before I give my other half.
No, it's good. So I was going to say the other thing is he's not being utilized the right way. They're not lining him up over nose nearly enough. Like, there's no center
that's
in the
a
game
coaching
that can
thing.
stop him.
That's not him.
That I agree with. The other thing that I'll say to that, Ryan, is, like, you remember how Bill Parcells was. Banks came from that school. So he basically, with what he said, I agree that the respect wasn't there, but I think he said that to challenge Dexter, and Dexter didn't respond. And I want Dexter on this team. Dexter is the key to this team's success, but something's not right. Either it's the injury, it's the mental, or I wanted to ask you, because I know your other half, and I don't know if you can or can't. If you can't, I understand. But I know what they say, but Ryan, I don't feel this team, this defense believes in their defensive coordinator. Can you
yeah, I mean, that's possible.
give your opinion?
I think it's possible. See, I think I've seen that before. Like, I don't think the Giants offense believed in Jason Garrett towards the end, and I think that was obvious. I don't think that the Giants defense believed in James Betcher's scheme toward the end of James Betcher when he was here. I'm trying to think about other guys. They definitely didn't believe in Freddie Kitchens when he took over for Jason Garrett.
Right.
I don't necessarily feel that way. If I had to guess, and this is purely let's call it an educated guess, I think the Giants' best players are more frustrated with their worst players than they are frustrated with the coach. Like, if you asked me who Dexter Lawrence is more mad at, Shane Bowen or Deontay Banks, I'm going to tell you it's Deontay Banks. So
Okay, that makes sense.
And my other half a dud, and I respect him because he waited around the locker room to do an interview when he could have snuck out, and he waited for me. My other half a dud has to be Graham Gano. Like, he missed that 45-yard field goal, and I'm gonna read you the quotes he said, guys. To me after the game. I appreciate that this is how he feels, but he said after the game, that was my only miss all day, warm-ups and all. Have to hit that one, my third miss in 2 years. My job is to make kicks, which I've been doing a pretty damn good job of. And it was like, yeah, read the room, buddy. Like, you're hurt a lot. There's nothing you can do about that. He's right. When he kicks, he's pretty good. 3 misses in 2 years, whatever. 9 out of 11 last year. This was his first miss this year. Doesn't miss PATs. He's right. When he kicks, he's pretty good. He's not on the field a whole lot. He missed the 45-yard field goal that Daboll basically called the game breaker. And it just kind of struck me as like, that's what this organization does, is like, they just kind of like make excuses and like, I'm pretty good. Like I was good in warm-ups. Like, it's like, we may, how many times do you hear them say like, it's just the one guy, 10 guys out of 11 are doing the right thing and the one guy doesn't, or 55 plays are good and 3 are bad. Well, if the 3 are bad, are 60
the 3 are gashing touchdown. I guess that's
right. Yeah.
It's like they don't understand that the inconsistency.
It just feels like the whole organization. Just felt like Graham Gano saying like, I'm good in warm-ups and I've only missed 3 in 2 years. And, the wind was different than I thought. It just felt like, hey man, just say, I got to make that kick. I got to be better. I got to hit that there. Like, that's what they pay me to do. It was a killer off the Burns turnover. Like, I'll make the next one. Like, I wanted another shot, like whatever, but like, I don't know. I know you're pretty good. You don't have to tell me you're pretty good. Like, I know when you're out there, you don't miss kicks. Like, I just felt like he was defending himself, and I wasn't even like challenging him. I was just like, what happened? And like, he was like defending himself against every critic he's ever had. It felt very Daboll-esque.
So I wasn't going to play along, but I want to throw in a dud. I want to throw in a dud because I've been thinking about this all day because I had to rewatch the game today, right? So, and I'm sitting here and I'm looking at numbers. And I'm looking at numbers running around that I don't recognize, right? Like, who's that? Who's wearing that jersey? Who's wearing that jersey? Who's wearing that jersey, right? And it hit me that like as I pop open Twitter and the Eagles make a trade with the Dolphins for their defense end / outside linebacker,
Phillips.
Yeah. So, and I sat there and I said, you know what my dud is? My dud is Shane. You know why? Because the team is just so damn thin and they never really took a chance either to bring in what we've talked about, whether it's the offensive line or the defensive backs. I mean, like, we're pulling guys off the street. This reminded me of the year that they had Jerry Reese had to sign Aaron Rouse and CeCe Brown. They were both bagging groceries at ShopRite, and they went into camp with no safeties that year, and they had to go pull them 2 guys off the street. And I'm watching these guys run around, and I'm like, that's the difference between a great organization and an organization that's just in turmoil. Because we don't bring anyone. We started Corey Black last week, right? Over his head. You cut him. The Jets put him on a practice squad, and we're going to play him. We're not at all even making an attempt to bring any help. No wide receiver help. Okay, you want to say Ray? Okay, fine. But there's no help at the cornerback position. There's no help at the safety position. There's no help at the running back position. Like, it just always feels like we're never really trying to win. We're just really never going for it. Now, don't get me wrong. Once you're into game 6, 7, and 8, I get it. It's almost a lost cause. But when Neighbors went down, right? When Neighbors goes down, Adebo goes down, like, just, you know what? They're like this. Those great GMs are just saying, you know what? I got to give Dart something. I got to give Brian Burns something. Like, we're just with this little, we're scrappy, right? We're just scrappy. It's just sad that we can never have any. I know depth's hard in the NFL, but man, it's glaring. It's glaring.
They're just very reactive, not proactive. Like now you trade for, they trade for a receiver tomorrow, even if it's Jalen Waddle, like, just why, like, it would have been so different if you just did it 3 weeks ago. Like,
yes.
It just would have been different. It just
yes. That's my entire point, was when you needed to go for it, which was literally when Neighbors went down, or when, and again, against my better judgment, even when you realized Banks couldn't play and you were benching him for Flott, like you needed to make any move 3 weeks ago. Now it's too late. But it's just like, Shane, what are you doing? You're not showing the fan base, the team, no one that you're not asleep at the wheel.
He's not asleep at the wheel. He's very. Let me just say this: I'm Joe Shane's biggest critic, and maybe second biggest critic. But he is not asleep at the wheel. He is active or whatever, but he is very stubborn. Like, it's, why don't you see it my way? And there's not a lot of room. He's not, I'm going to make this up because I don't know, but if he called on Jair Alexander 3 weeks ago and the price was whatever they got, a 6th for a 7th, and he didn't want to give back the 7th, then he's going to dig his heels in and not give that pick up. So, and I made up that scenario, but that's what I'm trying to say. It's his way or it's his way or the highway for the most part. So,
all right, let's move on to the only bright spot that we have.
Well, there's one more thing I want to say.
Go.
You mentioned all the cornerbacks. Like, we talked about that Deonte Banks getting run over play, and on that play, Dexter Lawrence isn't running. I mean, he's just not running. He's jogging. I don't know. Whatever it is behind the play, he's jogging. But Jarek Bernard Converse, who I've never talked to, don't know the first thing about him, but he got picked up on Monday off of waivers, and he's on the field with the starting defense in the second half because they benched Corey Black, and he escorted Brian Robinson into the end zone. He could have dove at his ankles or something. Just make a hustle play. You're on the NFL field, bro. Just dive at his ankles, even if he's going to go in the end zone. Get a late hit for tackling him too late in the end zone. Yeah, I don't really care.
Show me some effort.
But just of all the guys, not that I'm okay with Burns jogging or Lawrence jogging or whatever, but I get it. They're maxing out their effort on every single play or whatever. Jarek Bernard Converse, this is your moment, bro. And you're just he's literally watch the end of that Brian Robinson touchdown.
Right.
He's literally like a bodyguard into the end zone. I couldn't believe it. I looked it up and I was like, who is that? I almost felt like it was a 49er blocking for him. It was
Yeah, rough, man, rough. Because and it's interesting. And again, we're a little bit off on the topic, but I was watching a couple of Christian McCaffrey plays that went wide left, and I really like this player.
Oh, I'm gonna blow your mind with her.
What's that?
Go ahead. I'm gonna blow your mind with the stats when teams run to the outside. Go ahead.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Because I'm watching McCaffrey and they're bouncing him. He's in the C gap, then he's the D gap, and he's outside wide. And I'm watching something that bothers me as a defensive player. And I really like this player, but there's something wrong. Okereke will never leave his feet anymore. He would rather run by and over pursue the back than actually just tattoo him and or pull down a low hit and wrap up. I'm not leaving my feet. So I'll change direction, but I'm not leaving my feet. And I'm like, who is this guy? I watched him run by Christian McCaffrey 3 times. I'm like, dude, you're an all pro type of linebacker. You can't over pursue it. And then he's ugh. It's not one guy outside of Burns, Tibbs is mixing it up in there, but nobody wants to even be physical. So yeah, I'm struggling to your original point about the DB they signed. Nobody even wants to hit anybody.
Yeah. So here are the numbers against the Giants rushing defense. I'm guilty of this too. I write a rushing defense story. I go to Nacho. I go to Dex. I go to Bobby. It's not really the middle of the defense. So when you run against the Giants, when you run off left guard, you get 3.5 yards a carry. When you run up the middle, you get 4 yards a carry. When you run off right guard, you get 4.3 yards a carry. Not great numbers, but pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready for these?
Oh no.
When you run off right end, you get 5.7 yards per carry. When you run off left tackle, you get 7.1 yards per carry. When you run off left end, you get 8.1 yards per carry. And when you run off right tackle, you get 9.8 yards per carry.
No.
A
How many
first down every time, virtually.
You know what happened?
9.8 yards per tackle. I mean,
Yeah.
so when you run it to the left side, to the left end or the right end, basically, you get a first down. It's either going to be 2nd and 1 or 1st and 10. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. You know what it is? There's no corner support. And then what they
That's
do
it.
is even when the DN set the edge, Burns and Tibbs set the edge, and they turn it to the inside. There is nobody to step up and meet the
That's
running
it.
back, which is the
That's
middle linebackers. And then if they get outside those guys, the cornerbacks, which is predominantly Banks' side, is invisible in run support.
And
There you
by
go.
the way,
Yeah.
I do want to throw this in just for everybody out there, watching or rewatching. And let's just not forget that McFadden is a missed source because the dude had back-to-back years.
He's making money by not playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
because
Craig,
the guy had back-to-back years of 100 plus tackles. It hasn't been done in 18 years. Okay. Now it's going to be another 18 years because, I know, Musau's a rookie and he's a little undersized,
He's
but
not a
man,
rookie.
oh, that's right. Last year he was drafted. He is just overmatched at every single play on the planet. And I can't get Bobby O to make a play.
Let me tell you something. I wrote this before the season. I wasn't doing this podcast, but I wrote this multiple times, so you guys might have read it. The Giants loved Darius Muasau before the season. Like they thought about making him a starter over Micah or Bobby before the season.
Dude, Bowen's on crack.
Hey, I didn't say Shane Bowen.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Ooh.
I didn't say Shane Bowen loved him.
That's a problem.
Shane and Daves.
That's a problem.
I did not say Shane Bowen loved him. I said the Giants loved.
That's
Darius.
a freaking problem, man.
Loved
That's
him.
a problem.
I get why they loved him. He was fast. He was intelligent. He understands the things. So I get that part. He's just not matching
the rest of the NFL. Let him go to round 7. How can anybody love him?
Because this regime. Craig, I know we're going to talk about positive on offense. Can I bring up a couple negative things real quick?
Yeah, but go fast because we're low on time.
I'm gonna because Ryan will address this too, I'm sure. So, and it made me think of it when Ryan, you brought up the missed Gano field goal. He shouldn't have been in position to make that field goal. In my 40 some odd years of watching the NFL and watching the Giants, I can't remember a time after a turnover that I've seen the worst play calling than what they did after that turnover.
Yeah, they played for a 40-yard field goal.
It was ridiculous. And then the other thing is, I don't understand why Matt Kafka is so adverse to calling a running back screen. To the point, there was one play in maybe the third quarter where they kept in the tight end and the running back, sent 3 guys out on the routes because they must have expected a blitz. So if you expected a blitz, instead of keeping 2 guys in the backfield and running 3 guys on the routes, why not just run a screen?
Yeah.
Explain that to me. So the defense was bad, but our offense was not good. Yeah. Not good at all. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep it moving along. I hear you on all those points.
I'm not killing that one anymore because I do want to make sure that I bring this up because again, the juice on this team comes from 3 guys. One of them went out on a cart last week. One of them is, in the running for defensive player of the year. And one of them is this guy. This team, if Dable does keep his job, it's purely on the fact that he pounded the table for Jaxsondart. He did not consult me on that, or I would have told him, yes, that was the right move. However, I just want to kind of highlight it a little bit more, Spartan. Like Jaxsondart, again, a lot of people are like, in the beginning where, oh, he's Jones or this, like this cat has embraced everything he's got. I love the fact that he says he's not used to losing. Look, he had a great game and he had a 30-yard touchdown drop by Dopey Slayton. Right. What else can we ask, Spartan, out of Jaxsondart? The guy's electric.
Nothing. I mean, I have his playing ability alone. He's doing terrific things. I mean, obviously, protecting himself on the run is something he's got to work on. But like in terms of his actual game, I'm not seeing anything out there that has me worried. Like when the he's good under pressure, he's calm under pressure, and when there is pressure, he finds a way to maneuver the pocket, and that's kind of what we need out of our quarterback. Yeah, I would like to see, and I wasn't really all that unhappy with Kafka for the few weeks leading up to this past week, but the offensive play calling seemed the most similar to the last year's offensive play calling of, I Joe and Kafka's at the helm, but Brian short of the stick stable has made his great return. The curl routes and all the these routes before the first down marker.
Yeah.
So I love what I'm seeing out of Dart. What I hope for him and all the young players on the team is that the disease of losing, like the losing bug or whatever, the losing culture, doesn't infect their veins and whatnot. And they're able to shake off the losing element or aura that they're inhaling. And, they become guys that find ways to win. And he's not the reason they lost yesterday. He's the reason that it was closer than, being a blowout. But I just, I am just worried about the longevity. I just think the losing takes tolls on the players mentally, and that's what I worry about the most.
Sean, 2 great throws. One, looking left, nobody open, completely reads the field, comes across the Theo. Theo scores, stiff arms a guy, as Ryan said, his potential stud of the game, right? Great throw. And then the great throw to Slayton right in his hands. I mean, I love the fact, Sean, that when he slips out of a sack, Jones would have took that sack. He's got a very good capability of going horizontal, right? Between the plays. What are you liking so far? And I'm assuming you're happy with it. I don't know how you couldn't be happy with it, but what are you saying?
I do. I love the leadership, like I talked about earlier, but we talk about this a lot, Craig. Like we talked about players playing above the X's and O's, right? Like Dart is playing above the X's and O's. It's not the play calling that's making him look good. It's Dart making that offense look good. Like that's really what he's doing. His scrambling ability, his ability to maneuver in the pocket, manipulate the pocket, find guys that are open when they do eventually get open, because it takes them a long time. But he's just doing things like he's willing plays to happen. That's what I see. I love that he's working through his progressions. Listen, is he perfect? Absolutely not. No. There's things he's got to work on because he's a rookie. He's still got to work on his footwork. He's had a couple underthrows, couple throws behind guys, right? So that's going to happen. But I love, again, he is playing above the X's and O's, because a lot of those plays and scoring drives are not going to happen unless Dart is doing what he's doing.
Ryan, so we all love what he's doing, but how do they get any better when I got this? I got Slayton dropping balls, Theo dropping balls. Like, how is this guy going to succeed if he doesn't have the tools around him?
I'll say this. I don't know how many. We saw David Carr's career wrecked by bad offensive line play. We kind of saw Daniel Jones's career wrecked by bad offensive line play. I was thinking of this. I don't know how many quarterbacks I'd point to and say they were ruined early in their careers because they didn't have enough good receivers. Like, look, if it's 4 years from now and the Giants are still Malik Neighbors and friends, then that'll be a problem. But I don't know that we're going to look back in 5 years and Jaxson Dart's not going to have gotten any better. And we're going to say it's all because that rookie year he was playing with Bo Collins. I just don't think that's something that really holds a quarterback back. Bad offensive lines do. Bad coaching does. Continuous playbook changes do. I've never really thought of a receiver who was like, that guy could have been great if he had better receivers early in his career. That's what I'll say.
Ryan, what's the locker room like with Dart?
Ghost
town.
What's ghost that? Town. It's a ghost town.
Back to last year.
I meant about the players. What are the players? Are they feeding off a Dart?
They absolutely love him. So with Daniel Jones, it was always, we love this guy. He's the first one in the morning. He's like the model of how you're supposed to do this. But it was never anything anecdotal. It was never anything on the field. it was always just like, this guy's here at 5 a.m. and he leaves at 11 p.m. And that's how you're supposed to do it. It was like, it was like the script of how to play quarterback, right?
Yeah.
With Dart, it's no one ever talks about what time he gets there or what time he leaves. It's all about like his playmaking and his confidence and the things he says. And like, to me, that's what being a quarterback is. I really don't care if you show up at 4 and leave at 4:30. If you can play on Sunday and make everybody around you better, that's what I care about. Like John Runyon said something today that stuck with me. I'm going to find the quote and read it to you guys. He said something today that really stuck with me about Dart. And it was like, sometimes it's just lip service. And like, this was like, Jackson's been unbelievable so far. The energy, the enthusiasm, the leadership, everybody kind of sees what they see on Sunday. He's so consistent on top of everything. All that's cliche. Here you go. It really hurts me to see him, such a young player, take these losses so hard because he is the quarterback of the team and he feels like it's his fault. But he's got people around to support him. He's got a team around him, and we have to do everything we can to lift him up because he thinks that it's all his fault, and we try to reassure him that it's not. Like, wow. It was almost like John Runyon's heart was breaking for him.
Right.
And to me, that is like, that's what they think of this guy. They have crazy respect. Brian Daboll called him the leader of the team the other day, and I don't think that was like I don't think that was a slip up. Like, I actually think he might, like, if there were mid-season captains, he might get one.
I'm also gonna give because you just read that quote, gonna give a shout out to number 76 on Jaxson Dart's touchdown run. They pulled Runyon, and he had a great block for to get Dart to bounce outside for that touchdown. We don't talk much about, and Singletary, by the way, 2 good blocks on the end to spring Dart. We don't really talk much about our offensive line because it ain't broke, so we don't want to talk about it. So I want to give a little shout out to Runyon and Singletary for that. And that's a great quote, Ryan. Thanks for sharing that, because it's nice to hear that they're recognizing the passion and the hard work there, but also the fact that I think the word you used was like, whether it was legit or he was or something along those lines, because I think that's what the team needs. Somebody that's legit enthusiastic about winning.
So I see there's a lot of Bowen on your itinerary. Is that
Let's do it.
Before we get there, I'll stay 10 minutes extra if I have to. I'm on a podcast. I'm on a podcast with fans, and and there's fans listening. I'm curious what you guys think, because I wanted to ask you about this, and I was like, you know what? If I wait to the end, I'll run out of time. So let me do 5 minutes with this, and then we'll get to Bowen. What do you guys think of the 49ers fans taking over your stadium? I'm curious. Like, I'm going to leave this to you. Let me be the interviewer, because like, I want to feel like I almost wanted to give Giants fans the dud, because like, I don't understand how you could let that happen. But on the other side, I feel like, hey, look, man, if it's a chance for me to make back some of my money, and this team has been so bad for so long. But let me tell you guys, it bothered these players. Like, John Runyon said he was embarrassed walking home that the 49ers took over that stadium, that they had to use a silent count at home. Jaxson Dart said, I've never been a part of a home game that felt so lopsided, like in terms of the fans for the visiting team. Like, they noticed that, guy said, I don't get, like, fine. You know what? I've read a million tweets and a million emails from fans that are like, the only way we get John Mara's attention for change is by not showing up. So like, look, it worked. You got the players' attention. So I'm sure you got John Mara's attention. But like, I'm curious what you guys think of the Giants fan not showing up and letting the 49ers take that stadium over.
I'll say, like, I'm Spartan. I'll let you jump in there too. I'm only going to take it because I'm a season ticket holder.
Yeah, makes sense.
I've been a season ticket holder all the way back to 1968. As Spartan and Sean and Ryan, as you get to know me more, you'll know that. So we had 4 seats on the 22-yard line, 22 rows up. I'm in the lower bowl. Been there forever. Since 1986, I've only missed 8 games. Okay, I can tell you every answer you want, and it's just going to come back to the same theme and I'm sure both of them will support me. And Spartan Mike goes to a lot of games too when he flies into town. Ryan, it's as simple as this. I've been there, and the fights like ensue because of the takeover of the fans. You know, first it's Eagles. The Eagles take over the fans of the stadium like nobody's business. And then it's the Cowboys. Raiders do a good job. Some teams, you know, they travel really well. The issue remains the same, is that they're tired of investing a full day watching them lose. It's the same exact thing every Sunday. And in the New York market, like the LA market, there's a million other things they could be doing than going there and spending 10 hours for the same result. Now, Scatterboo and Dart put some electric back in the fans. People were coming. I mean, all across the country, people are dressed up as Dart, and their kids are dressed up as Scatterboo and Dart for Halloween, right? There is some energy, but it's what happens, Ryan, is you can't believe in the Giants because it's the same output. We're on the same, losing streak as the year before and the year before.
So you're one season ticket holder. I'm going to ask you to speak for the masses, but of course I know you're just one person's fan. Was yesterday a chance for the Giants fan to make their money back, or was yesterday about boycotting for change, like to say, I want change?
The interesting thing is I don't think it's a game by game answer, right? Okay. Like, yes, the way they sell tickets now is the certain tickets. It used to be $160 across the board for my seats, right? Now they made it where the most important games cost more, right? If you want to see the Vikings, it's $100, but it's $200 for Cowboys. So gotcha. I'm trying to think how I can answer that question. I don't think I think it's because of the continued losing. Yes, I want my money back, but that's not the real reason. They're just tired, and they're saying, I'm going to make $300 a seat. I'm going to sell my 49er tickets only because it's the same thing over and over. Okay. And by mid-season, Ryan, they just pull the plug.
Yeah.
Right? Because if the 49ers played in week 2 or week 3, you wouldn't have had that. They give them half the year. Remember what week we're in.
Can I make a comment too? It's also like, look, these Giants fans don't know that they're selling to San Francisco fans. They're selling it on StubHub.
Yeah.
And anyone can technically buy them. I guess the other problem is there's no demand from other Giants fans because they also don't want to. It's not even just a money thing. Like, what enjoyment do you get out of going to a Giants game right now where they're just going to get blown out? Like, I'd almost rather not watch, period. But if I am going to watch it, I'd much rather watch it from the comfort of my couch. Now, granted, I'm going to the Giants-Bears game next week, but, even then, I'm kind of like, well, there goes a Sunday. But it is what it is. It's, it's the one time I get to see him.
I think where the game, to his question, I think it's because it was in the middle of the season. If they were 4-4, I don't think you would have saw what you saw yesterday.
Or Scatterboo was still playing.
Scatterboo was still playing. I think fans
knew that, Adiba was going to be out. Flott was going to be out. Like, that was known early in the week. Holland was going to be out. And now Scatterboo, and seeing that product and seeing the same thing, they're like, I don't. So I can't blame them.
K-Max got it perfectly. K-Max, put that back up, Christian. I gave up on my season tickets. I got sick and tired of seeing crap over and over. It wasn't fun anymore. Wasted time and money. So there's your thing. Ready? I'll encapsulate it by this. It takes me 2 hours to drive to the game. I'm there for the game, which is 4 hours plus 2 hours before. So that's 4, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 hours and 2 hours back. I'm giving them 10 hours and I'm driving home at 2:00 in the morning on Sunday nights and Thursday nights, Ryan. And the product remains the same. And if we ask ourselves, what's that thing, you do the same thing over and over and over with the same results.
Yeah. Insanity.
And that's what happens. I mean, you just get tired. It just so happened that game was pivotal because it's in the middle of the season.
Well, not even that. It was in the middle of the season. You had a fan base that has a lot of New Jersey, San Francisco 49ers fans who were who were happy to see their team. I don't think it would have.
Nobody knows
if it was middle of this. If everything was the same, middle of the season, all the injuries, team stinks, 2-7, whatever, and it was the Jaguars, I just think the stadium would have been empty rather than taken over by the opposing fan base. It was just, I got to tell you, I've been to a lot of Giants-Eagles games and a lot of Giants-Cowboys games, and the 49ers crowd took over that stadium more than I've seen any of the Eagles or Cowboys do it.
And the Eagles is the one you'd expect because they're right down the turnpike.
Correct.
The whole fan base.
Right.
The San
Correct.
Francisco one's a mystery. There are 49ers fans throughout the New York area. I get it, but even then, not as much as like you might find a
That's
Cowboys.
That's what was startling, man. Like it was startling yesterday.
Look, it doesn't help.
that's
It doesn't help that it's look, it is a tourist destination. Hey, why not? Let me tell you, it is fun to do an away game for your
It's always
team.
been a tourist destination, and I've never seen that before. So
you
I
also get, I know this is backhanded, but McCaffrey's dad played for the Giants. Maybe there's some roots here. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think they're 2-7 every year. They play the same schedule, same teams every year. Like, I've just never seen it like that. I was wondering if there was something more to it this year. So
I could see there'd be something more to it. I mean, fans, they know that the planes were not enough, even though they did fly one negative banner going over. It's been said on Twitter all the time, like, in order to get tomorrow, you got to get to his pockets and let him know that if I'm not showing up, I'm tired of this. It's got to be an indictment, though, to the point you said, because I was going to bring this up too. If you have to do a silent count in your own home stadium, like, that's got to get back to everyone. I know the players saw it, but that's got to get back to the coach. Yeah, that's the coaches need to feel it. The front office needs to feel it, and John Mara needs to feel that. Like, and the fact that no changes were made today, like,
there you go.
After that happening, which is going to lead into what we're talking to. I bring us back around. I told you.
Yeah, let's go to that. I just don't know what good changes are going to do other than changes' sake, but let's go to it. Sure.
Well, listen, we all know that this defense was supposed to be better than it is, and we don't know who's playing half hurt, half speed. Guys jogging, we don't know what it is. My feeling was this. I was behind Dave's until this guy still has a job. Now I know Dave's is going down with Bowen. That's all I could think of, is that if Bowen stays, then Dave's is going to go too. And I wanted Dave's to stay, but you need change just to say this isn't acceptable.
Yeah, okay. Change for change's sake. If you want to tell me that you need that, then like, fine. But like, it's not going to get better with Andre Patterson or Marquand Manuel or whoever as the defensive coach. It's not going to get better. If you I don't want to look at your face anymore, change. Like, that's what Joe Judge did to Jason Garrett, essentially, is I don't want to see your face anymore. And so he got rid of him. The offense got worse with Freddie Kitchens. Like, it was unwatchable with Freddie Kitchens. Right. So, like, the idea that, like, Dre Patterson's got some magic playbook and he's some 60-year-old guy who's never been a defensive coordinator and he's waiting for his turn it's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to get better. So, if you need change just for change's sake, then I guess
it just screams acceptable. It screams the Giants are continue to accept being bad. Sean,
there's got to be some change. I mean, it's the same thing week after week after week. Like, either, and maybe don't fire him, but I mean, Marquand Manuel was a defensive coordinator. He's got experience. There's got to be somebody that, even if it's just different, maybe it could get worse, but just running the same thing out there week after week after week. Like,
if you want to tell me that you want Marquand Manuel to call plays, sure. I
mean, what's respectfully, Ryan, like, what's your hesitation with making the change and getting rid of Bowen? Like, why do you think that would not make a difference?
I just don't think anything will change, and I think it'll probably get worse. I've seen it get worse. So I just think there's a matter of, like, you get rid of him, and then it's just like, now you just you have Marquand Manuel calling Shane Bowen's defense. He can't install his own defense with 7 weeks to go. So I have him calling a defense that he doesn't really understand because it's his first year in it, or Dre Patterson or Eggs calling it. And like, I just think it's change for change's sake, which I'm never a huge fan of. Like, look at the Jets last year, and this is head coach, but like, we got to fire Saleh and put in Jeff Ulbrich, and they became a disaster. So like, I think like there's just a matter of like, I get it. Sometimes you don't want to see somebody's face anymore, but I think more often than not, that makes things worse.
Fair. Spartan, are you in favor of Bowen or going or staying?
I can actually go either way with it. I mean, I'm really okay if he leaves. Go ahead and see what they have in Patterson. I don't really care anymore because we're probably going to lose no matter what. Go ahead, throw it to Patterson.
That's kind of what
care.
I'm saying. That's kind of what I'm saying. It's not going to change. So if you just want to see somebody new do it, I guess that's fine. That's like benching Daniel Jones for Drew Lock or whatever. It's like, okay, I don't think it's going to change anything. You just don't want to see him anymore. That's fine. But you didn't get any
I sort of disagree with that, though, because most of the times you are absolutely correct. But every now and then you actually get a situation where we can go back to Wade Phillips getting fired with the Cowboys, right? And then Jason Garrett came in. They actually finished okay down the stretch, and you got the full-time job at the end of it. Obviously, we're probably not going to get like a full-time job. I would like to see if the defense responds better to a different person at helm. Even if it's a 10% chance that it happens, I'm willing to risk it.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to defend Shane, but like I don't think he's done some great job. It's blasphemy to fire him, but I just think you're looking at another. I'll keep using the analogy: Jason Garrett, Freddie Kitchen situation where it goes from bad to worse. But,
well, I do find that it gets a little weird after a while, like because the Giants for the last few years have always just done this one thing that bugs me, and it's like if things are going wrong, they only blame one thing at a time. Well, it's just the offensive line. It's just the quarterback now. Okay,
yeah.
now it's just Shane Bowen. It's like I don't like the whole just because then it becomes a scapegoating thing. And don't get me wrong, all of these things were contributing to the losing, but there's multiple things contributing to the losing. And I don't want to make it look like Bowen's the whole thing. When I
first started doing this podcast, my point was like Shane Bowen's got to go. Shane Bowen's got to go. And I was like, the reason the Giants have sucked for 2 years is the offense, not
right.
They couldn't score in a league where everybody scores 30 points. The Giants couldn't score 15 points.
And that's why Sean and I were defending him all offseason. Like we were saying the same thing last year. It's like, look,
absolutely.
Bowen. I'm not seeing too much magic here, but the reason we suck is the offense.
Correct. And now the offense has some life, so now everybody wants Shane Bowen gone. So
I would want Bowen gone, and I would like Dable to go back to calling plays. That's what I would like to see because it's not one thing. Like Sunday's loss was on everybody. It was on the offense, the defense, the special teams, the coaching staff, the front office, and the owner. Like that was a complete and the utter team loss right there. So if you want to make changes, my change is, all right, you get rid of Bowen, you have Dable call the plays, because why the hell not? Like you're going to go down, like, dude, go down doing what you do best. Like he's a hell of a play caller. I don't care what anybody says. He's a hell of a play caller. He had guys open all last season.
Go down what your best at and blow up your relations with your coordinators. I'm kidding. That was just a joke, Sean.
I wrote these notes down real quick when I was rewatching the game now. It's a little bit of conscious stream here, so bear with me. But it says, first Niners TD, only a 3-man rush. As the quarterback drops, the D tackle drops into pass coverage. And I had to watch it 3 times. The defensive tackle actually stabs and drops into coverage on the first Niners touchdown. I'm like, who allows a D tackle to drop into coverage, right? Then I got, Banks is playing man, following the man, which leaves Christian McCaffrey out for the second touchdown all by himself. Nobody, by the way, no one covering Christian McCaffrey. There's a problem there if your defensive coordinator is
Bobby got lost in the shuffle.
Yep. Said my second touchdown.
Twice that happened.
Number 38 falls down in coverage for the second touchdown, right? Which is Black, I guess. Is that right, Corey Black?
Yeah.
He falls down. The third touchdown, Banks gets run over, right? It's like a series of errors, and I don't know if it's age, like you said, scheme with Bowen. But now that we can score I think we're averaging like 20.2, 20.4, whatever it was, average points per game, which to your original point, Ryan, was we couldn't score more than 12 last year. Now we're at 20. It definitely shines a light on the defense. Can't get off the field on third down. We've got a lot of effort issues or pride issues. So I understand why people think that's a Bowen thing, because if the team takes after your head coach, you definitely take on the personality of your coordinator. And if the coordinator's not fired up, how do you expect the defense to be fired up?
I just want to make a couple points. One,
yes, please.
They fired Jerome Henderson because of Deonte Banks, right? Jerome Henderson, the reason he is not here is because of Deonte Banks, because like he's not getting through to him, whatever. He challenged him publicly. Deonte Banks didn't like that, et cetera, et cetera. Are the defensive backs any better? They're probably worse. So like my point is, like, again, not every situation's apple to apples, but like Jerome Henderson had to go. We have to hire him they got worse. So like my point is you could let Shane Bowen go. You could get worse. Like it could be worse.
Yeah.
It could get worse. It's not guaranteed to get better. I'm going to read some of these comments too, because I like to do that before I go. A new DC will call different plays at different times. I don't know that a new DC is going to have a chance to install his own playbook. I'm thinking the new DC is going to run Shane Bowen's playbook. And I think there was something else our defense has made Mac Jones look like an all-pro. Mac Jones is having a great year, guys. He's having a Kyle Shanahan renaissance year. That's what guys do. He's going to be a starter in this league next year. And the thing that drives me the most crazy is somebody said, and I know how fans feel about this. They hate this, but I'm going to say it anyway, especially because the man's sick. Somebody said, I get the feeling like ownership doesn't care. This is not the Wilpons. This is not Hal Steinbrenner, cash and check. John Mara is one of you guys, okay? He's a billionaire, but he's one of you guys. He's the guy who kicks trash cans. He's the guy who breaks chairs. He is a diehard owner. Like
he wants to win. He wants to win.
He wants to win. So this isn't a business it's made his family incredibly rich, but this is what he does. He's not a ship salesman who owns a football team. He is a football guy. He wants to win incredibly much. He's not done a good job, but the idea that he doesn't care or he's cashing your checks or whatever, he would spend all of it.
I agree. I agree. I know from everything I've heard that's true. Obviously, when it comes down to where, he's lacked, is, when it comes time to do his part of the job, he hasn't made good decisions.
Yeah, that's right. He cares too much sometimes. He cares too much sometimes.
Yeah,
he doesn't make good decisions. Absolutely.
But he hasn't made good decisions. But the idea that he's some like the
Bengals owner, the idea that he's like that guy,
whatever, like wetsuit or whatever, wetsuit owner or something couldn't be further from the truth.
All right, let's ask the big question then before we let you go, because I know you don't want to hang out with us all night. Is Dave's, Kafka, Shane, is anybody going to come back in 2026 if the year ends up with 2 wins? Because they have a brutal schedule. Now, second half has a little bit more winnable games, but if this remains a 2-3 win team, what's next year look like?
I would say none of them are back. The question would be, is Joe Shane back? I would say none of those coaches are back. But I want to be clear about one thing here, too. You just said something that is one of the things that sets me off, which is like, who cares if they win 2 games or 5 games? What is the difference? And the Giants care. Somehow the Giants care. Somehow that keeps jobs. What the Giants need to do is stop acting like 2-15 is any different than 5-12 in year 4 of your regime. They're both terrible. Okay.
Yes.
They're both terrible. The record is terrible. The record is fireable. Okay. Now, whether they win 2 games or 5 games, if you're judging them on the record, then they have to be fired. Now, you can tell me you're going to judge them on Jaxson Dart's progress and whether they need to keep him because of Jaxson Dart. You can tell me effort and whether the players like him and, any other million factors besides the win-loss record that you want to judge him on, then we can have a debate.
Because it seems like they do what you just said. It seems like they do that.
But the idea that we won 5 games, we can keep him, but we won 4 games, we can't keep him.
Still not good enough.
We got to get to that magic number 5. Yeah.
No.
It stinks. It stinks. Okay. On win-loss record, they have to go. So, I don't care if they get to 5. I don't care if they get to 4. I don't care if they only win 2. It's bad. 3 years in a row, they've been bad when it mattered. So, whether they win 3 games in December and get to 6 wins, I don't care. They were dead by Halloween again. So, on record, they have to go. Don't care about if it's 4, 5, 6. Don't care. Don't care. Just on that judgment, that's in the pro-con list, win-loss percentage, they have to go. Now, make your decision based on anything else you want to do. That's fine. It can't be on win-loss percentage. That's already decided.
And do you like Dave's? Like you got what's your take on?
He's a fine guy. He's a fine
Yeah.
guy. He doesn't treat us poorly. He's not particularly interesting to cover. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't like help us do our jobs. But he doesn't treat us poorly. Like Aaron Glenn is a jerk to the Jets media. Brian Daboll's never a jerk. He's not particularly helpful, but he's, a nice enough guy. So
Yeah.
Ryan, let me ask you quick too, because I know you're going to go, but you mentioned Joe Shane is stubborn. Is Dave's the same way? Is he as stubborn as Shane, or is it more
Yes.
Shane?
No, I would say yes. I would say
Okay.
they're both stubborn. Yeah. I mean, how many times have whether you don't have to look further than the field, right? It's
That was my feeling, but I wanted you to verify it.
yeah, you don't have to look further than the field and some of the decisions that take way too long to make. Yeah, no, I would say they're both stubborn. Shane more so. In negotiations,
Right.
James Bradbury he lost Saquon over $1.5 million guaranteed dollars. So James Bradbury, similar way. A lot of guys like that. And Nick McLeod, obviously, you're not going to take this pay cut, then don't pay your rent or whatever Jordan Renan wrote. Yeah.
Right.
So, and then Daboll in terms of roster depth chart lineups changes. So,
Okay.
Anything that you're breaking, anything coming out this week we should be on the lookout for?
No, just, trade deadlines tomorrow. It's interesting. I think at 2-7, you assume they're sellers. They could be buyers. They could be sellers. They could make minor good vibes deals like Evan Neal and Jalen Hyatt could be gone. They could, I'm not ruling out that Russell Wilson will be traded. Like there's a lot of different ways tomorrow could go, or they could do nothing, which is pretty much, I guess, what I expect because more often than not, nothing changes.
And your gut is nothing happens.
That's my gut, or something minor, maybe hands for a 7th round pick.
Okay, fair enough. Spartan, you got anything for him before we let him go?
No, Ryan, appreciate your time as always. Appreciate your insight. I hope one day, one year we can do the show and things are in more positive vibes. And unfortunately, I may not be able to do another episode for the next couple months still until I get some of my licensing done, and then look forward to the off season for sure.
Shoot me a text next week or a DM or something. I'll be in Chicago. So,
all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Ryan, we will talk to you next week. Fingers crossed. And check your I sent you something a little about an hour ago.
Okay, cool. See you guys.
Right.
Thanks.
See you, Ryan. Thanks.
All right, we're gonna hit one last drive. Christian, if you could hit that, and let's get into some of these questions. All right, last part of the show is where we're going to take all the questions. You guys have been great. I'm going to see if I can do a quick shout out. TP Way, the Giant, K-Mac, Humble, been in the room. I see Cold. I see Morales. I see M. Green's in the room. I see Rob. There's Gridiron, Joe Clark. Let's see. I got Rob. I got Kessler. I got 220. He is an OG right there. Just trying to see. I hope I don't miss anybody. If I do, I apologize. There's a real active in the chat for you guys today. There's Ray.
Twice with 2 donations tonight. Two separate donations from Tudor. So we appreciate you, Paisano.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's a Napolitan, I think, like me.
Same here. Nobody done.
I got Mr. Jay Verdi's in the room. I got Mark Blue Giant in the room. There's a bunch. I'm trying to make sure I get all you guys. I got Jace's in the room. A lot of you guys. Again, apologize if I miss any of you guys. Thanks for all hanging out. I'm going to rip through some of these questions, and I'll give them to the guys. Spartan. Let me see. Question. How are Banks and Gano still on the team, Spartan?
Yeah, I mean, they're probably just going to hang on to Banks until the end of the year. I tell you what, though, the Banks experiment is over. They got to get him off. It's not even just that he's bad. I think that mentally and culturally, he is not good for like the Giants locker room, because when you watch him make these low effort plays or not really put investment into his development, like this is the kind of stuff we can't have infect other players, right? So between him, Hyatt, who are just seemingly just miserable, it can't be. As for Gano, yeah, this one's on Shane. And look, I mean, talent acquisition, I'm so-and-so with Shane, to be honest with you. There's some great things Stuff is just horrendous.
So I hope this isn't my fault that they're losing, but we had a big old bash Halloween party Saturday night, and someone brought this to the party. They were dressed up as voodoo medicine men, and someone brought me a Giants voodoo doll. So I just want you to know out there that this could be the issue right here. It has my face on it, which is insane, right? That's why I wore this hat. So this could be the problem right there. Next question. What do we got, Christian? This one for you, Sean. Has this team given up on the coaching staff?
I don't think they've given up, but I think they're frustrated defensively speaking. I think they're definitely frustrated. I also think the defense was frustrated with the offense. I know Burns was. You could see his reaction after they got that turnover and then they kick a field goal and he misses the field goal. Like, that's frustrating. You get a turnover there, you should be able to score a touchdown. So, no, I don't think they've given up as of yet, but I think that they are frustrated defensively with a number of things. You can just tell. Like, you can just tell looking at it. Like I said earlier, I don't think they have pride. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why the coach is not. I need somebody with fire. So going back to, if you're going to make a change, you're not making a change for change's sake. You're making a change to hopefully make something different. Whether it's better, you just need different.
Good question, Ray. And you know what, Sean, the issue that what's going to happen in the offseason, you heard it here first, because all the talk is who wants to work for Dabes if he comes back, right? The whole lame duck thing, the whole blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. I don't put any stock into it because I said this before. Actually, me and Spartan actually had this conversation like a couple months ago, maybe 5-6 months ago, is at the end of the day, there's plenty of coordinators that want to get from the college ranks to the pro ranks, right? There's always going to be a really good defensive mind or offensive mind out there that wants to get a shot at the NFL. They pay these guys really well for their expertise. So don't ever think you can't find anybody. That's an excuse. That's like a media narrative. Nobody wants to work for that guy. Well, guess what? I want to work for him right now. If you're going to tell me I'm going to make a NFL paycheck to call,
right?
I'm in,
right.
dude. And Spartan, and I'm taking Spartan and Joker with me. So let's not start that. And if it comes up, just stop. Please stop. There will always be a guy that wants that job because there's a defensive coordinator right now for Jacksonville and the Browns and so forth. They'll always find someone qualified, maybe good, maybe. I don't know. But
well, here's what I think. Don't go for a retread of a defensive coordinator that kind of had like a maybe okay-ish tenure. Like, I feel like where the Giants went wrong with getting Bowen is like he was like the last of the options, but it was like, well, he has some experience as defensive coordinator. When I think when you get past the guys that become available, like Saley last year, right? Like Robert Saley, like when he becomes available, okay, he's going to be the top defensive coordinator on the market. You probably won't get him. That's when you start going to backup plans where it's like, hey, who's killing it at the college level? Because the defenses in college are still pretty normal, right? So if you have a guy, let's say Iowa's defensive coordinator, granted, that guy's not leaving, but their defenses are unbelievable every single year, right? Phil Parker, like, give those guys a call. Like, if they're a top 10 defense in college, like, I'm sure they'd love to come to the NFL.
And by the way, Spartan, Sean and I talked about this last week. You know, nobody wants to hire a hotshot guy that may take your job. So, you know, you also could think about reaching into the whole Rivera Zimmer thing because those guys just want a really good gig. They're not looking to take the head coaching job, you know, like the Eagles did with Fangio. Fangio's not going to take what's his name's job. Why did I just draw a blank on the Eagles coach?
Sirianni.
Sirianni. Fangio is not looking to take Sirianni's job. He loves the money he's getting paid, and he loves creating havoc on defense. So I am not at all campaigning for Rivera or Zimmer. The point is that Spartan, you could bring an older guy in that was just really good and loves the paycheck and loves what he does. So, all right, what else we got? Christian, we got other questions. All right, why did they go back to Wandale to short of the sticks? He was doing okay running actual routes. That one I got nothing for. Go ahead, Sean. I'll give that one to you.
I mean, I think it's just the way it's set up. They got to have somebody open. He gets open, and it's the play calling. I mean, it's a number of things. Who knows? I mean, I'm so frustrated with the entire team, the entire coaching staff. It's unreal. And I'm going to stand by this. It's Dart making the play calling look better than what it actually is.
And by the way, Kafka has, we've said it once, we'll say it 1,000 times, Brad. Kafka has no feel for the game or his personnel, so he's a little one-dimensional. That's why we are, Sean just nailed it. It looks good to the tune of 20 points over 12 points because Dart's making magic happen, running around, slinging sidearm, stepping out of tackles, right? And all that stuff.
And when
Because
Scadaboo was here, it was those two guys.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. So I guess the answer to that is lack of creativity from Kafka, is probably at the forefront of that.
Here's the other thing too, like we touched upon earlier, but didn't expand upon it, is Tyrone Tracy was running the ball well, and inexplicably he's out of the game. I don't know if he got hurt. I don't know what it was, but he must not be healthy because it's not like he's some. I don't get it. I don't
Guy
get
had
it.
1,000 yards all purpose from
I don't get
scrimmage
it.
last year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't
completely.
get it.
Well, I think one of the things too is he's looking for holes too much instead of just hitting them.
Okay.
A little
That's
too
fair-
much
that's a-
shuffling.
that's a
Whereas at least
fair-
with Scadabo, he just plows forward no matter what's going to happen. And we even experienced this with Saquon a little bit, but that Saquon's of course on a team where there's holes. He never has to really look for a hole. It's a little bit different.
He's
but
still better than Singletary.
Well,
yeah.
So this afternoon, Spartan, Tiki Barber had a really great quote right along with what you just said. So you're channeling your inner Tiki Barber, Spartan, but Tiki Barber said this afternoon that Tracy's got to stop looking for every play to be a home run big play and just hit the hole. So whether Spartan's channeling Tiki or not, like they're both on the same page, because Tiki's basically saying, look, Tracy had 1,000 all-purpose yards last year from scrimmage. He can do the job, but now he's thinking everything's got to be a home run hit. Just hit the hole, get the 4 yards. Hit the hole and get the 4 yards. What else we got, Christian? How did Dart hold on to that ball when he got? Man, I don't know. I thought he died. I had no idea.
That was one where it's like, welcome to the league, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. I came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's called welcome to the NFL,
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know, Mark. That's a great question because I thought he died. I was like, oh no, what are we doing now? What else?
Well, there's another feather in Dart's cap. He held onto the ball when getting blasted from behind like that. So there you go.
Hands down. Thanks for all you guys do as content.
Thanks, Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph. Always a pleasure, man. We try to give you as much cool content as we can. I got to do a better job of getting these pods up on Spotify and Pandora. So if you've been looking for it or it hasn't told you that it's there, that's completely on me. So I'm working on that. And I got to get some of these shorts and stuff up on YouTube, which I got to ping Christian for because he's just awesome at all that stuff. So thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Spartan, does Shane stay?
Does Joe Shane stay? I have a feeling that Merrick keeps Shane just because of his history with GMs and whatnot. And, look, how do I feel about it? It's just going to be what, to me, I'm at the point where it's like, look, I don't want to go back to just blaming one thing. Oh, it's just coaching. It's kind of like, are we building a winning foundation, a winning team? I don't know. And trust me, coaching is clearly a huge issue right now, but I can't sit here and say coaching is holding back Joe Shane. And I feel like that's what we got to look at it. But I expect Merritt to retain Shane just because of his history with GMs. He gives them longer leashes. He doesn't want front office turnover. He doesn't want to get rid of scouts. I see Shane sticking.
Where we got, Christian? Let's see if we can pop. If there's another one in there, we'll grab that. If not, we'll wrap it because we're running a little long. Looks like that could be it. Oh, nope. All right, better question. Why did they not leave a pass blocker in the backfield for Dart on that play, especially so close to the end zone, knowing he holds onto the ball too long right now? It's from Drew at Goofballs. What's up, Drew? You want to take that one, Joker?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Why do they do anything they do? They left 2 blockers in on a third down play and sending out 3 receivers. So I don't know why they didn't leave another one in there to give him a little extra protection. I have no idea. Again, he needs to get rid of that ball to not take that hit, and he was trying to make a play. The better question there, I'm gonna double down on this better question thing. The better question is, why was nobody working back to the ball when Dart scramble around like that.
And
Why do we have guys that don't know how to do that? That's frustrating. And listen, to Spartan's point, I agree. Like, it's not one guy. Yeah, Bone's the easy guy to say, hey, we got to get rid of him. The defense is bad, but it is top to bottom down with this organization. Everything is bad. Everything. And if it means that we look at mismanagement on game day rosters, that's Dayball. Like, that's on him.
Yeah.
That's on Shane. That's on Shane for not bringing in certain guys. That's on Shane.
And being casual with the kicker situation, thinking it's like, well, I think we'll be fine here. Where it's like, you don't realize you have a kicker problem until it bites you in the butt. And how many
you have a kicker problem?
Kickers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, and they go, why is Turbo Miller not elevated? Why is he not getting any play when you have two running backs? Does he not know the offense? Is that the reason why? Here's my thing. If our offense is so complicated that we can't elevate guys, we can't sign guys, then it's time to make a change.
Thank you, Sean. I couldn't agree with you more, because not only I keep hearing that the offense is so complicated, then why does it look so boring and simple?
Yeah.
Wow.
And by the way,
part of it is because who's calling the plays this season? But
yes, but remember, guys,
Agreed.
If it's complicated, right? It's a lot easier to dumb it down than the other way around, where you have a dumbed down offense and then you want to make it more complex. That's hard to digest. If it's complicated and you dumb it down, you're getting guys free. You're letting guys think less. You're giving guys opportunity to make plays. So to your point is, okay, fine, it's complicated. Well, you know what? Uncomplicated. But the sad part is,
I know the Rams are running a less complicated offense than the Giants are, and it's yielding better results. Then what are we doing exactly?
Problem though, Spartan Mike, is that we averaged 12 points a game. Now we're averaging 20 points a game, almost 21 points a game. It's technically not the problem right now. Like, I know what you're saying, and I believe in what you're saying. But when you're scoring a touchdown plus more from year to year, technically the offense is really not the bigger issue. So if we dwell on like all the offensive changes right now, the defense can't get off the field on third down. Your cornerbacks can't cover and they don't tackle. Your safeties are literally checked out at the wheel or injured. Your linebackers literally don't know how to make a play and are undersized. And your star defensive player is either hurt, checked out, angry, or whatever it is.
I totally agree with you that the defense is the worst issue. If we're talking that, I 100% agree. The last 5 weeks has been defense over offense, no doubt about it. But again, and they're gonna, if they clear house, they're clearing everybody. But let's say hypothetically they kept Abel and Kafka, like it would just be like another thing of like, here we go again. You picked one thing at a time. But
again, the offense isn't looked at the issue because Dart's making it look better. The offense was the issue on the offense was the issue on Sunday. They come down the opening drive, they score a touchdown, then they can't do anything again. They score they got the garbage time touchdown. I know there's some drops and things like that too, which hurt for sure. But there's too many lulls in that offense with the play calling that's hurting it. There's no momentum. And again, you guys watch it again. Look at it. This is not hyperbole. Jesus, that's how fired up I am. I have never seen worse play calling than what I saw after that turnover. You get a huge turnover in a crucial part of the game, and the first thing you do is a running play.
By the way, they do that a lot. When there's like a big play to be made and you're trying to get momentum, they literally like double down and say, let's get ultra conservative. I've seen them do that numerous times after a big play.
Yeah, it makes zero sense. Zero sense.
Yeah, like they don't have the mentality of the I got you by the throat, choke you out. They don't have that mentality. They have the, hey, we're kind of kicking your ass, but we don't want to kick your ass that bad, so we're gonna let you hit us a couple times. Right.
Well, here's what needs to change. If you're not going to change the coaching staff, right? If you're not going to fire a defensive coordinator, if you're not going to, then Dayball needs to be involved more. We said this a couple weeks ago, Craig. Dayball needs to get involved more and say, look, this is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. Like, something needs to change. Like, you can't keep it's like they're playing not to lose and they lose anyway. Like, if you're going to lose, at least lose aggressively. At least, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bowen goes into a shell. He's like a turtle. He loses players and he goes into a shell.
That's why we said last week, like, I'm sorry. There's no excuse for having the stat that I read last week that Abdul Carter is the fastest player to the quarterback in the league. and he's got most pressures, in the league or whatever, top 3 in the league, but he has got a half a sack, meaning that you're not even smart enough to say, if this guy is so fast to the quarterback and he's being impeded by a blocker, imagine if you scheme this guy clean on a stunt or a twist to get this guy free. The guy could have 10 sacks, but you don't.
Yeah.
You let him run into garbage, and you let him literally be taken out of the play. And you see how the tackles are handling him with not only just pure holds. It's an arm bar, it's a throat bar, it's a tackle, it's a drag down. Like they're giving him the pure welcome to the NFL, right? For Abdul Carter. If you have any idea what you're doing, you're going to try to scheme this guy clean, and they can't. What question? Yeah. I hate that I even have to ask. We currently pick 5th wide receiver or D tackle. No, neither. You're drafting a cornerback in the first round. You are drafting a cornerback you're drafting the best corner in college football.
Do you think corner in first round? Because if Flock comes back, he stays healthy, you got him and a Debo.
No.
You need a backup, right? You don't need a starter at this point, do you?
No. Yes. What happens is Debo and Flock battle it out who wins, and one becomes the backup. You're drafting you're replacing Banks. You are literally going to get me the best cornerback in college football, and he's out there and he's starting day one, and then Flock and Debo go head to head who wins, which would probably be a Debo. And then, because of the contract they paid him, 100% you are Spartan. You with me?
Flott's been playing like a starter.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. Great. We're giving up way too much on Flott.
So that's
the backup's been the issue.
I wouldn't give up on Flott. I'll tell you this because he's a solid player, but he's not a star. And what I will say is, like, if they have the chance to get the Ohio State cornerback, right? Well, you kind of have an opportunity now to have a star at quarterback, a star at wide receiver, a star at left tackle, a star edge, and now a star cornerback. Those are the 5 most important positions in football.
Yeah, and I'm not giving. And I'm not giving up on Flott.
If we let's say had an early pick, and I hate talking draft already, but like if we drafted a star cornerback this offseason, like the Ohio State guy, whatever his name is, Tate or something, like you get a guy like that, and they turn out to be a stud. We're in pretty good shape.
Yeah. This is Sean. This is what we talked about.
I'm going receiver in first round.
I wouldn't mind it.
I'm going, and here's why. You can get a corner in the second round. You don't need listen, Flott and Debo are good. You need somebody if Debo goes down. You need somebody that can come in. Yes, Flott is very good. Flott was ranked in the top 5. Hold on. Flott is ranked in the top 5. So what you need is, hold on. You need somebody that can come in if a Debo or Flott goes down. You need that backup cornerback. You get that in the second one. Wide receiver, you're screwed if Neighbors is not back to 100%.
You you're
screwed.
Like the guy, like what's his name? They should have signed in the offseason.
We're begging for them to trade for a wide receiver. If they don't trade for one, why would you not take one in the first round?
What if they did this? Because I was just thinking about this today. Because here's the thing, Sean, I do agree. Like if they did a receiver, the one thing that'd be really nice about that is you have 2 cheap, probably dominant receivers that are enabling the other to get open. Because right now with one, everybody's just going to be, double coverage for Neighbors, right? So it does open things up. If they could find a way to weasel a solid receiver with their set, like via trade for their second pick, I am okay with that because it's the second pick, and I swear it's a 30% chance we hit.
There's not, anyway. But the
first one, then get corner. Like, what if we finesse the Jaguars? If the Eagles can do it, we can too. What if we find a way to get Brian Thomas without getting rid of the first?
But here's the thing: you got Tyson out of Arizona State and Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. If they're in the first round, that's what you go. Your first round cornerbacks, there's not the depth, and there's not the first round cornerbacks out there in this draft as of right now.
So the Ohio State guy.
The Ohio State guy.
He's a safety. Caleb Downs is a safety.
He was a safety. Oh, okay. My bad.
He's safety.
We're definitely not drafting a safety, but
no,
you
that's what I'm saying.
You have more wide receivers out there to get paid. I don't see it. I can't see it. I can't see it. I'm going out and getting Waddle, or I'm going to go out there and I'm going to pay, which we should.
Yeah, but if they don't, then you got to go receiver in first round. You have to. And I don't like drafting
No.
receivers in the first round. Don't get me wrong. Other than neighbors, we got neighbors.
Nope.
But I can't. You can't base it. I'm just
I got
sorry.
20 points a game. I got 20 points a game right now, and my defense can't cover or stop anyone. So if you
can get a second round cornerback. There's
Well,
no
can I
first
say
round
something too?
cornerbacks. That's the problem.
So much of this, like the defensive problems for the Giants right now. I mean, it's injuries one, but the secondary, I do feel like the Flott Adebo,
It's good.
Our second is honestly safety is a little weak with Newman, but and Holland is I feel like with a better defensive coordinator that's better at scheming, this would be even better because look, a lot of times there's nobody near the guy. When there's nobody near the dude, that's when it's not a talent issue. That's a scheme issue. When there's somebody near the guy and they're just not making the plays to stop the receivers, okay, now you have a talent issue, but not a scheme issue.
I would rather than I don't care. Debo's we got him at a pretty good deal, but I wasn't overly impressed with him. I don't care if Adebo starts or not. Flock can start. I want a star shutdown wide receiver. We're scoring 20 points a game. Anyway, how about next question? What else we got, Christian? Anything in there? Because I want to wrap this up and let's take two more. What do you think about McCarthy next year as head coach? No, I can't do that. I can't.
We know what Spartan's going to say.
I can't do that.
Yeah,
I know what Spartan's going to say. Because you want to make the playoffs, right, Spartan? Like you just want to win consistently and you want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so. And it's just one of those things where it's like it'd be a nice, reliable way to get back to that level at least, and if we become one of those teams where it's like, we're going 11-6 and 12-5 every year, but we blow an NFC championship game. It's one of those things where it's like, well, Jesus freaking Christ, I would take that over another mystery box where we're just back to 3-14. I mean, if there's another viable coaching option out there. I mean, and look, most home run hires will probably be a mystery box, but there's also be a bunch of junk out there, right? The other thing that I like about McCarthy too, and we got to think about this, his ability to put a good staff together is critical because the Giants haven't just suffered from lousy head coaches. The downfall the last 10 years has been really bad coordinators as well. I mean, outside of Spags, in 2017, during our crap run since 2016, coordinators has been a huge issue. I trust McCarthy to put together a good staff.
That's a valid point. My thing is just I don't think he's going to win a Super Bowl at this stage in his career. And yes, I get the winning, I guess, making the playoffs. But I think I'd rather go with I honestly, and I said this last week, I want to go with a defensive guy. I want to bring in, and Rob Lass brought this up, our Lass on Twitter, Jesse Minner. That's the guy I'm going to bring as head coach. I think he'll put together a good staff. He understands how to rebuild programs. And then now the name escapes me, but I said on Twitter, I want the assistant GM from Philadelphia to be the GM. Yes, I know we have Brandon Brown, but he never was the assistant GM at Philadelphia. I want the guy who actually was second in command in Philadelphia because I want what they do. I want that mindset here. Put together a good staff. They replace coordinators year after year. They're always getting talent. That's what I want. But if I can't get Jesse Minner, then I want somebody off the Sean McVay coaching tree because those guys have a lot of success.
Yeah. Who's the Vikings offensive coordinator? Phillips. He was there for a while. I wouldn't mind him.
No, the offense coordinator now is it or isn't it McCown now? Isn't Josh McCown the offense coordinator, or is it just the quarterback coach?
He's the quarterback coach. I wouldn't mind. I would not mind anybody from the McVay tree. I am completely with you there. For the GM, I'm with you. Alec Hollaby makes the most sense. He's been with the Eagles for a while.
Yeah,
the thing is, he's such a analytics nerd. I'm just like, it will translate to everything that it has to do with being a GM. I hope, but look, if you actually heard Howie Roseman talk, he sounds like a little bit of a dork too. So go for it. Right. But I'll give you one other one. Ray Agnew with the Lions. What I like about this dude is he's a former player and a former Giants player. Right. You couple that with the fact that he was part of two different rebuilds, one with the Rams in the mid to late 2010s, where, they rebuilt in a much different way than other teams, free agency, trade, stuff like that. But nonetheless, he built the team. And then he was with the Lions after that, where they built an incredible team via the draft. And I think that he was in two best of both worlds. I would love to see him apply it as a GM for the Giants. So I really wouldn't mind. Those are my two picks.
I love it. I mean, you're listening to me because you remember in that offseason we were talking about replacing Ray Agnew was my choice as GM to come in as well. So love the fact that you're listening to me. All right.
Oh boy, here we go. Ego. Wes Phillips is the offensive coordinator in Minnesota. And their
Right.
defensive coordinator is the guy who's suing the Giants, Brian Flores.
Yeah, so he's probably off the list.
Yes, he is. All right,
He's
I'm
been
wrapping this
exposed a
sucker
little
up.
bit,
We're
too.
gonna see you guys next week on Monday. Ryan will be back. We'll all be back. Spartan won't be back because he's studying. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. nygiantsrush.com. Check that out. Please follow. Please subscribe. Pass it on. Comments are always good to get in there on YouTube. If you guys are watching on YouTube, drop us a comment, give us a thumbs up. Love the support you guys show us, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.